Hello everyone. In this video I'm going to solve the packet tracer activity skills integration challenge from CCNA version 7 Introduction to Networks. As we already learned, the first thing we have to read the scenario or the background. So here the router central, ISP cluster and the web server are completely configured. You must create a new IP version 4 addressing scheme that will accommodate 4 subnets using the 192.168.0.0 with subnet 24 network. The IT department requires 25 hosts. The sales department needs 50 hosts. The subnet for the rest of the staff requires 100 hosts. A guest subnet will be added in the future to accommodate 25 hosts. So we need to keep in mind that we have that this network can be scaled to include a guest network with 25 hosts. You must also finish the basic security settings and interface configurations on R1. Then you will configure the switch virtual interface or SVI interface and basic security settings on switches S1, S2, and S3. And now let's see the instructions. So IP version 4 addressing, we have 192.168.0.0/24 to create subnets that meet the host requirements. So we have 100 hosts, 50 hosts, and IT with 25 hosts. Of course, we need to extend this network in the future to include the 25 hosts as a guest host or guest subnet. Document the IP version 4 addresses that have been assigned in the addressing table. So here we need to document these IP addresses. And then we record the subnet for the guest network. Okay. So since we already did the IP subnets, I've already did it here. I opened this PDF file with Microsoft Word, and here I managed to edit this file easier. So the IP scheme is going to be like this. The one that's grayed out this is the IP address, and here for the guest network we need only to add the IP address here, and it will be 192.168.0.224 with subnet 27. Okay, if you don't know why this IP address, please contact me by email or in the lab when we meet. Okay, so because it's the same range and only this 27, since the last one here we have 195, so the next subnet is going to be with 192.168.0.224 with subnet or /27. Okay, so first now we are going to do the PC configurations. Configure the assigned IP version 4 address, subnet mask, and default gateway settings on the staff, sales, and IT PCs using your addressing table. Okay, so we refer back to this one. Here, put this one here because I already okay, so we have staff, sales, and IT PCs. So let's start with the staff. The IP address here. Just we need to copy this. So during when I'm solving the or I'm doing the tasks, I'm watching here my completion. So as you can see here, now it's okay. So even my subnet mask is with 25, so it means here 128 because it's 25. As you can see, my completion here. And then I would like also to put the default gateway here. It is 192.168.0.1. Okay, so this was about IB version 4. In case of IB version 6, I have here the stuff. I will only copy this with 64 and link local address is here, and the default gateway is with 1, as you can see here. So I'm watching my completion, it's okay, so I'm done with the stuff. I will do the same with the cells. Here I have 26, so it means 192, and I have an IP address with 129. Okay, with IP version 6, I'm here with the cells now. I will take this one, 64, default gateway, link local address with 2. Okay, so I'm watching my completion, it's okay, fine. So I'm moving forward to the last one. I will assign IP addresses and for IB version 4 and IB version 6. Here I have 27, so it is 224. Default gateway I have here 193. IB version 6, 64, FE82 with default gateway FE81. FE81, and then the link local address is FE82. I think I'm done with PC configurations. Okay, so let's move forward and then let's return back and let's see what we need to do more. Assign the IB version 4, unicast and link local addresses and default gateway to the staff, sales and IT network according to the assigned table. We already have done with this. Okay, so now let's move forward and let's start to do the configurations on R1. So first, configure the device name according to the addressing table. Okay, let's do this. Enable, configure terminal, and then hostname R1. Disable DNS lookup, no IB domain lookup. Assign Cisco enable password 2055 as the encrypted privileged execution mode password. Enable. secret, and then we have this one. Copy, paste here. Make sure that there is no space after it, and that's all fine. Let's press enter. Okay, I simultaneously check my completion here, and then assign Cisco console password. Sorry, Cisco con password PA55 as the console password, and enable login. Okay, so we have line console 0. We put password here like that one. Make sure no space. And then here we need to exit, and line VTY015. We put paste here the password. Then no space. Cisco cons password. Okay. So require that a minimum of 10 characters be used for all passwords. So here what we need to actually do to assign like the length of the password to be minimum 10. So the password should be longer than or 10 characters. So here we have to type security, as you can see after this password, then a question mark, and the minimum length, then a question mark, and then from 0 to 16 I choose 10 because this is required from me. Okay, just to make it sure, security, passwords, minimum length, 10. It seems nice and correct. We will check it later if there is a problem. Encrypt all plain text passwords. So here we type service password encryption, and here create a banner that warns anyone accessing the device that unauthorized access is prohibited. So here banner message of the day, then we put, for example, this, then access denied. Okay, then we need to configure and enable all the gigabit Ethernet interfaces. Configure the IP version 4 addresses according to your addressing scheme, and configure IP version 6 addresses according to the addressing table. So we need to configure these interfaces with IP version 4 and IP version 6 according to the addressing table. So this is the addressing table, and here we have IP addresses for each gigabit Ethernet interface. We need to configure these interfaces. Okay, let's start with gigabit Ethernet 00. So interface gigabit Ethernet 00, and I first start with IP address version 4. I'll take this one. Just let me make it 192, 168, then 0.1 with subnet address is 255, 255, 255, and 128. Okay, don't forget no shutdown. Okay, I'm having a message line saying that line protocol on interface change state to up. Okay, that's fine. So now I'm doing the same with IB version 6. So I'm writing IB version 6 address, and then I just put this one here. Okay, one more time, IB version 6 address with FE81, but this is link local address. Okay, since I already activated the IB version 4 with no shutdown, so I don't need to do it again because this interface is already up. Okay, so I finished with this one. So now type exit, and then I will continue with gigabit Ethernet 01, this one here. So I also start with IB version 4 address, but here I need to change, of course, the IB address to 129, and the subnet mask is 192. Of course, no shutdown. And now IB version 6, which is 2001 DB8 ACAD 1. So just need to type here 1. So now I have 1, and then 1 with 64, and then I have to set the link local address one more time, and this one I have FE IB version 6 FE1, it is the same, so that's it. Okay, so let's move forward to gigabit Ethernet 02, which is actually this one. I start with IB version 4. I'm checking the subnet. It is 224 because it's /27, and here I have 193. Okay, no shutdown. Now with IB version 6, 2001 DB8 ACAD, and here I have 2 instead of 1, and then it's the same, that's it. And link local address is also needed here because this is necessary with IB version 6, as you know. So here we have one IB version 6 address, and it is the same, and then press enter. Okay, now exit. One more thing that you need to keep in your mind when you are dealing with IB version 6 is that by default routers don't support IB version 6. You need to enable IB version 6, and this you just type IB routing IB version 6 unicast routing, and this way IB version 6 will be activated. Okay, so I think we done with the router configurations. Let's check it. We did this one also. Okay, so we need now to configure a device name according. Now we are moving. We need to do more with the router. So here we need to configure SSH on R1. Set the domain name to ccnalab.com and generate 1024-bit RSI key. And then configure the VTY line for SSH access. Use the local user profile for authentication. And then, okay, let's do this one. So configure SSH on R1. So let's first we need to set a domain name to CC lab.com. Okay, so IP domain name, and then we put this one, CCNA7-1-v7, generate an RSA key. So to do this, okay, so in this we need to generate a key with 1024. So for this we need to type crypto and then question mark to see what we can put after this. So you can see key, question mark one more time, generate here. Then we need RSA, this is what is needed actually, and then question mark. After the question mark we can put general keys, and then the modules, and then we put a number between 360 or 4000 and 4096, and here is needed 1024 actually. Okay, so we also done with this one. As you already like noticed, here you can always use question mark if you don't remember exactly the command. Of course, you can search on Google, you can like study the material one more time, you can review the chapter and CCNA, so you are free to find your way. Okay, so what else? And configure the VTY lines for SSH. So let's go to line VTY 015 and then transport, then question mark. We can say that input and then we type it SSH. Here we configured the VTY lines for SSH access. And here use the local user profiles for authentication. So here we have to log in local. Okay, so this one in this way you configured the local username and password for this authentication. Of course, we need to what is this? So we need to put, of course, username and password, because we set just the local user for username and password for login local. So as you can see here, we need to create a username admin 1 and with the privilege level 15. This is the default one, and the encrypted password is this one. So here we have to set the username and password. So username and then admin 1 with password. Just copy this one. So username, then password. So since it's here privileged 15, so I think it's not going to be. Let's make it like this. So if I would like to delete one of the commands, I just type no before it, and then here is secret. Okay, this is fine. This is the correct one. This is the correct one because it's a privilege 15, so I have to type here secret, not password. Okay, so here we have also block anyone for 3 minutes who fails to log in after 4 attempts within a 2 minutes period. So here we need to block the access if someone tries to access with wrong password. The block time 3 minutes. So here block for 3 minutes equals 180 seconds, and then we need the number of attempts 3 or 4 actually. Let's see, 4 attempts we have, and then within 2 minutes, so which 2 minutes equals 120 seconds. Okay, also I check this one, so this one is also fine, and that's, I think that we finished the configurations of the R1. Now we are doing the same for switches. So we have 3 switches, S1, S2, and S3, and we have to configure these 3 switches based on these instructions lines. Okay, so let's start here with switch 1. Configure the device name according to the addressing table. Okay, that's easy. Enable, configure terminal, and then host name S1. Configure the line, the SVI interface with IPv4 address and subnet mask according to the addressing scheme. So let's go to S1. We have this IP address, and this is the default gateway. So line VLAN 1, interface VLAN 1, and then IP address with subnet mask 255, 128. Okay, of course no shutdown. It's also fine, and then exit, and then IP default gateway, and then we put this IP address here. Okay, let's see what we need to do more. So we did this one, configure default gateway. We also configure this way. Disable DNS lookup, no IP domain lookup. Assign Cisco enable password as an encrypted privileged execution mode security. So enable secret, and then we put this IP address with no space, and then we need to assign this password as a console password and login, and enable login. So as a console, so here we have line console 0, and then password we put this one, and here login. Okay, configure console and VTY also. So line VTY 015, password, and then also login. And here we have to encrypt all plain text passwords, so surface password encryption. Okay, this is with S1. We have to do the same with S2. Enable, configure terminal, hostname S2, and then interface VLAN 1. Let's go up. IP address with subnet mask 255, 255, 255, 192, and default gateway, which is this one actually. Okay, what we have to do more? No IP domain lookup. And then we assign password for the privilege. So here IP domain, enable secret with this password, and then we need also to assign the password to the line console 0. Login and line VTY 015, and also password with login. And also we need, I forget to skip this one with S1, so we have to do it again. Configure the console and VTY line to log out after 5 minutes of interactivity. So let's go again to line console 0, and then execution timeout with 5 minutes, and also line VTY 015, also execution timeout 5, and finally surface password encryption. Okay, let's do this here also. Line console 0, execution timeout 5, and then line VTY 015, execution timeout also 5. 5 minutes 0 seconds. So do the same with this one. Enable, configure terminal, and then hostname S3, interface VLAN 1, IP address. Let's go to the address table. with subnet mask 255, 255, 255, 224. No, this is not good. 224, and then no shutdown, and then IP default gateway. Then we need to put this one here. As you can see, my completion here. So configure default gateway. This I did this one. And then disable DNS lookup. So no IP domain lookup, and assign this password as a privileged password. So enable secret with this password. And assign this password for console password. Assign as the console password. So line console 0. We have a password. This one. Configure the console and VTY lines to log out after 5 minutes. So execution timeout 5 seconds. Line VTY 0:15. Also execution timeout 5. Here we need to type just exit, and then service password encryption. Okay, so as you can see here, my completion is 98. Let's check what is the problem. We don't need this one anymore, so let's check here, check results, assessment. So in S2 I did not activate the VLAN. So okay, let's do this. In S2 interface VLAN 1, just now shut down. It is now 99. So let's close this and check one more time what I have to do more. And in R1 line VTY I have to activate also to timeline timeout. Okay, let's do this also. In R1 enable. Here I need the password. Here is the password for login, which is Cisco enable password 55. Here configure terminal line VTY 0:15. Here execution timeout 5. Okay, let's see if it's okay. Now it's completion 100%, so that's cool, perfect. Let's move and let's continue here with this task. So activity, use the web browser on staff, sales and IT to navigate to the Cisco .vk. So I'm going here, for example, I go to the web and then I paste here, then type go. We should see something here. As you can see, this web is reachable. Actually, since I got 100%, so it's 100%, everything is correct. Okay, so that's all about this packet tracer activity. Let me also just show you something here. Is it the most important thing here after you just to take a look about your configurations, what you did actually, just type here show running configuration, as you can see here. So here we have current version of the router, here the host name, the name of its R1, here we have login block for 100% attempt for within 120, and here we have enable secret, and here we have IP addresses, here we have interface gigabit ethernet 00 IP address, here we have like link local address, so I can see there are two IP version 4 and IP version 6. Here we have gigabit ethernet 01, 02. As you can see here, I have also line console 0 with the password, and here we have line VTY with the, with time execution timeout and so on. So let's check also show IP interface brief. Here I have IP the interfaces. Here I have gigabit ethernet 00 with this IP address up. That's so the status up, protocol up. It means it is functioning correctly. The same is here with gigabit ethernet 01 and gigabit ethernet 02. Okay, so that's all about this activity. Thank you very much, and see you in the lab tomorrow.